Magandang araw po sa inyo. Welcome po sa isa namang episode ng online series ni Inang Pamantasan na kung saan ang pagkatuto ay walang hangganan. Ito ang PNU Talks. I am Jaime Cagungun Jr. from Alicia, Isabela and a proud alumnus of Philippine Normal University, North Luzon, Batch 2015, PE Major, and Batch 2020, MAED PE. I'm currently teaching at Alicia National High School and serving as the moderator and trainer of AN1 Performing Group, one of the choreographers of Balitokti Alicia, and I'm your learning from home buddy for today. For today's episode, we're going to talk about the indigenous dances of Paracelis Mountain Province.
It was in the year 2014 when I got fascinated with the rich cultural heritage of Paracelis Mountain Province because our undergraduate thesis was about the eagle dance of the Gatdang. I was moved by their beautiful and authentic indigenous dances. That's why when I pursue my master's degree, I promised to myself that their dances will be the subject of my thesis. In order for me to showcase their beautiful dances and to perpetuate their rich cultural heritage, I attended the Indigenous Peoples Day celebrations every last Friday of October from 2015 to 2018. It turned out that my regular visit to their place made me fall in love with their beautiful culture and indigenous dances. Fortunately, I was able to document and tape 5 of their indigenous dances from 4 different indigenous groups. And today, I am proud to share with you my research on the indigenous dances of Paracelis Mountain Province. And this was validated by NCIP CAR, NCIP Bontoc, IPMRs of Paracelis, and the elders of each indigenous group.
Indigenous dances are a vital part of the everyday life of the different indigenous people of Paracelis Mountain Province. These dances are performed in different social gatherings like fiesta, birthdays, weddings, rituals, Indigenous Peoples Day, and other significant occasions. The rich cultural heritage of Paracelis is vividly shown in their indigenous dances. The town of Paracelis is situated at the boundaries of Isabela, Ifugao, and Kalinga and serve as the main entry point to the rest of Mountain Province. It is home to different indigenous groups such as Ayangan, Kalinga, Haki, Likoy, Kadaklan, Kalanguya, Kankanae, and Changyasan to name a few. But in this episode, we're going to talk about the indigenous dances of the Gatdang, Balangao, Bago, and Majukayong indigenous groups. Who are these indigenous groups? The Gatdang indigenous groups are Transient from Cagayan Valley mountain range, and they are considered as the first settlers of Paracelis Mountain Province. They lived in the fringe of mountains of Paracelis. The Balangao indigenous groups are early settlers of Eastern Mountain Province, and they are skilled in bamboo and rattan crafts, weaving, and blacksmithing. The Bago indigenous groups are migrants from Ilocos Sur. They are the offspring of the intermarriages as well as the trade between the mountain tribes of Cordillera and the Iloco of the lowlands. They were named Bagong Cristiano by the Spanish Catholic missionaries, and up to these days, the name Bago is maintained. The Majukayong indigenous group originated from southern Kalinga and Madukayan Natonin Mountain Province, which is adjacent to Paracelis. They are subclan of the Kalinga. Let's proceed to their dances. The Bumbuwak dance of the Gatdang indigenous group. This dance is imitating the courtship of 2 flying eagles. It is used in different Gatdang social gatherings like fiesta, wedding, pinag-uuli or pamamanhikan, and songa or Gatdang rituals. Throughout the dance, the female always follows the hand and arm movements of the male. The dance ends when the female dancer accepts the male dancer's hands, which signifies that the female is accepting the courtship of the male.
It is a free flow dance. The sequence and combination of the steps may vary depending on the dancers. It is under the dance culture of a highland community or Cordillera and classified as courtship dance. Properties of bumbuwak. The musical accompaniment. In this dance of digatdang, they are using 5 to 6 pieces of gong or gangsa and playing it in a palm beat manner, which means they are hitting the gong through their palm. And they have a peculiar name for each gong depending on the rhythm each gong is receiving during the performance. Their first gong is named tatag, the second is kadwa, the third is kaklo, the fourth is tuwak, and the fifth one is wewe. And the sixth is salabunger, which is optional depending on the availability of the gong. The rhythm of the music is under 2/4 or 4/4 time signature. And the counting is 1 and 2 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to a measure. The indigenous attire and accessories of digatdang. Beadworks are the most dominant accent of the indigenous attire and accessories of digatdang, which make it unique attire in Cordillera and even in Cagayan Valley. For female gatdang, they are using barawasi as an upper garment, aken as skirt, bakwat as belt, and singat as headdress. For male gatdang, they are using koton as upper garment or vest, tapit as cape, abag as their G-string or bahag, and barangal as their headdress. Specific movements of the dance bumbuwak. So in this dance of the gatdang, they are using 6 basic footwork and 4 basic hand and arm movement. And I'm going to share to you the description of each movement and their corresponding traits. Basic footworks of the dance bumbuwak. So this dance of the gatdang indigenous group uses 6 basic footworks, namely manasad means stamping, yuyundo alitotad means bouncing, tarigogot means mincing steps, sasad means fast and strong stamping, mangayayat means skipping, and naganay means walking. So the manasad, sasad, and the mangayayat of the male gatdang symbolizes their strong personality and behavior, while the yuyundo alitotad of the female gatdang symbolizes their love for celebration, and the tarigogot of the female symbolizes their simplicity as member of the gatdang tribe, and the naganay or walking, which is being performed by male and female gatdang, symbolizes their humbleness and simplicity as member of their tribe. Basic hand and arm movement of bumbuwak. So there are 4 basic hand and arm movement used in the dance bumbuwak. First, we have the dinapa. This is in an open arm position. Second is apat 1, hands beside the body, and apat 2, hands at the back of the body or on waist. And kulapat. This is a flipping movement of female gatdang. The dinapa symbolizes the bravery among gatdang people. Apat 1 and apat 2 symbolizes their humility and simplicity as member of their community. Kulafat symbolizes their welcoming and friendly personality. The bumbuwak dance of the gatdang indigenous people of Paracelis.
Our second dance is the Tulayan Halep of the Balangao Indigenous group of Paracelis Mountain Province. This dance literally means eagle dance. It is a social dance imitating the movements of flying eagles in the sky. It is performed individually, in pair, by group of males or females or mixed genders. It is performed in different Balangao social gatherings like birthday, fiesta, wedding, baptism, and other significant occasions. It is free-flow dance. The sequence and combination of step varies depending on the dancers. The dance ends the time the dancers exit. It is a circle dance with the dancers moving around the stage while dancing. It is under the dance culture of Highland community or Cordillera and classified as social or festival dance. Dance properties of Turayan Halep. The musical accompaniment. This dance of the Balangao uses 3 pieces of gong or gangsa in a stick beat manner, which means they are using a padded stick in playing their gong. And also they have names for their gong in this performance. The first gong is named Hapor, the second gong is Halingfat, and the third is Takena, with the rhythm 2-4 and 4-4 time signature, with the counting 1 and 2 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to a measure. Indigenous attire and accessories of the Balangao Indigenous Group. The indigenous attire and accessories of the Balangao Indigenous Group is one of the most colorful attire among the different groups of Paracelis Mountain Province because of their color combinations and pattern. At the same time, because of the different decorative accessories of female Balangao. Female Balangao uses porwase as upper garment and blouse, fitay as skirt, felecos as belt, apungon or pungon as headdress, kenokon as crisscross body lace, tenale as armbands, painga or pepelaw as earrings, and 3 different sizes of necklace. The biggest necklace is called foroyfoy, the regular necklace is called dalatmidan, and the smallest necklace is called fisar. For male Balangao, they are using ferwase as vest, tayay as G-string or bahag, katud as headdress, and fangar as necklace. The specific movements of Turayan Halep. The Turayan Halep of the Balangao Indigenous Group uses 3 basic footworks and 3 basic hand and arm movements. Basic footworks of the dance Turayan Halep. So this dance of the Balangao Indigenous Group uses 3 basic footworks, namely Manasad 1 means in place alternate slide, Manasad 2 is slow running while bouncing, and Mamakiki means slowly rising up. Manasad 1 and Manasad 2 symbolizes their love for celebration, while Mamakiki imitates a soaring eagle. Basic hand and arm movements of Turayan Halep. In this dance of the Balangao, they are using 3 basic hand and arm movements, namely Mamayed B or bouncing up arms of boys and Mamayed G or bouncing up arms of girls, and Humhip wherein the arms rest beside the body. The Mamayed B and Mamayed G symbolizes bravery among Balangaos, and Humhip symbolizes their simplicity and humility. The Turayan Halep of the Balangao Indigenous people of Paracelis.
For you, eh mamad you, tamarad saka na sa amin nga to. Hene kamantawi perangaw ni mangsa. Kinkinawan Jericho! Woo! Kaya kasi. One round.
Our third dance is the pinanyuan of the Bago Indigenous group of Paracelis Mountain Province. This dance imitates the courtship between a hen and a rooster. It uses a white panyo or scarf. In the dance, the dancer slowly folds the scarf until it becomes small in size. The dance ends when the female scarf is surrendered to the male dancer, which signifies panagsumbat. It means that the female is accepting the intention of the male dancer. It is under the dance culture of the Highland community or Cordillera and classified as courtship dance. The dance properties of pinanyuan. Musical accompaniment. This dance of the Bago Indigenous group uses 2 to 5 pieces of gong or gangsa in a stick beat manner, which means they are using a padded stick to hit the gong during the performance. They have also named for each gong. One is Tugaru, the number 2 is Palay, the third is Pengek, and the fourth is Dep-Dep, with 2, 4, and 4, 4 times signature, and 1 and 2 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to a measure as counting. The indigenous attire and accessories of the Bago Indigenous group. Bago Indigenous attire and accessory is distinguishable among the different indigenous group of Paracelis because of its dominant color, which is white. Bago female uses kimona as blouse, pingay as a skirt, baguette as belt, and panyo as implement of the dance. For male Bago, they use chaleco as vest, wanes as G-string or bahag, afungat as headdress, and panyo as implement in the dance. Specific movements of pinanyuan. This dance of the Bago Indigenous group uses 3 basic footworks and 4 basic hand and arm movements. Basic footworks of pinanyuan. So this dance of the Bago Indigenous group uses 3 basic footworks, namely biskad-biskad means accented bouncing walk, salidsigan means forward and backward steps, salidsig upa means in place alternate slide. The bouncing accent of their footwork symbolizes their love for celebration, and salidsig upa symbolizes their love for nature. Basic hand and arm movements of the dance pinanyuan. So this dance of the Bago Indigenous group uses 4 basic hand and arm movements, namely makupin means scarf folding, lumayad means handshake position, ayayatan saridsid means side twisting, and payab, which is the signal of girls' entrance. The makupin symbolizes their simplicity and humility, while payab symbolizes their friendly and welcoming personality. The pinanyuan of the Bago Indigenous group of Paracelis. Our fourth dance is the Topia of the Majukayong Indigenous group. This is a courtship dance of the Majukayong Indigenous group. It uses a scarf or a piece of cloth. In the dance, the male dancer tries to lure the female dancer with the use of the cloth or scarf. The cloth or scarf of the female symbolizes love. The dance ends when the female surrenders the cloth or scarf to the male dancer, which means that the female is accepting the intention of the male. It is under the dance culture of Highland community or Cordillera and classified as courtship dance. The dance properties of the musical accompaniment. This dance of the Bajukayong Indigenous group uses 4 to 5 pieces of gongs or gangsa in a palm-beat manner, which means they are using their palm to hit the gong. They have also name for each gong. 1 is tagdatag, 2 tabbobot, 3 safor, 4 tuwak, and 5 atawan, with 2, 4, and 4, 4 times signature, and 1 and 2 or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to a measure as counting. The indigenous attire and accessories of the Majukayong Indigenous group. The indigenous attire and accessories of the Majukayong Indigenous group are woven with red as the most dominant color and black as an accent. Female uses any white blouse or skin tone, kain as a skirt, batabet as belt, fanger as crisscross body lace, and tapis as implement. For male Majukayong, they use baar as G-string or bahag, barangat as headdress, katut as feather and accent of their headdress, lukus as sling bag for mama, and payungos as their implement. Specific movements of Topia. This dance of the Majukayong uses 4 basic footworks and 4 basic hand and arm movements. Basic footworks of the dance Topia. So this dance of the Majukayong Indigenous group uses 4 basic footworks, namely, itaod means skipping, iyedyed means foot bouncing, ugaed means step brush in rear, idalanno means accented walk or slow run. The ugaed symbolizes their strong and aggressive personality, and iyedyed symbolizes their love for nature. Basic hand and arm movements of Topia. This dance of the Majukayong uses 4 basic hand and arm movements, namely salidsid, which means holding the blanket, salinsing, which means holding the scarf while twisting sideways, idawawa, which means cloth at the top of the arms, sakroy, which means cloth at the shoulder. The idawawa symbolizes simplicity and humility. The Topia of the Majukayong Indigenous group of Paracelis. And those are the indigenous dances of Paracelis Mountain Province. The Bumbuwak of the Gatdang, Turayan Halep of the Balangaw, Pinanyuan of the Bago, and the Topia of the Majukayong. These dances reflect not only the rich cultural heritage, but more on the people of each indigenous group, hoping that you learn something from their beautiful dances. I would like to acknowledge NCIP CAR NCIP Bontoc for their guidance in completing this project. To my body and core researcher Sir Russell De Joseph and his family for the warm accommodations. To Dr. Wilfredo Balawas and SB member Julian Alinao for the support and guidance. To the municipality of Paracelis. To former Mayor Abelino Amangyen and present Mayor Dr. Marcos Ayangwa. To all the Gadang, Balangaw, Bago and Madjukayong, thank you for sharing your beautiful culture. To Dr. Lily Domingo, Dr. Jane Cariaga, Gypty Joshua Batungbakal, Nino Baldonado, Melanie Abe, and Heidi Domingo for the technical help and support. To my ANHS family headed by our principal, Dr. Eleanor Isidro. To my AN1 family, SPS family, Team G, Balitikti Alicia family, PEMS Club family, to Edson and Joffel, and to my family and friends, thank you for the inspirations and support. Special thanks to Dr. Madonna Castro Gonzalez and to the OIC Executive Director and Provost of PNU NL, Dr. Lordinio Vergara, for this opportunity. Salamat, agyamanak. Above all, to Almighty God, thank you.
I-comment ang inyong mga katanungan at kuro-kuro sa episode natin ngayong araw. Huwag kalimutang i-like at i-share ang episode natin. Sa muli, ako si Jaime M. Cagungun Jr. at sumainyo ang PNU Talks.